Hey, my loves. Welcome back to the Slay Girl Slay podcast. Hoping everyone had a great weekend and all of your weeks are off to a beautiful and amazing start. Wanted to first say thank you so much for all the love and support from last week's episode. If you missed last week's episode, stop here. Go back, listen, because if you don't know, now you know. Slay Girl Slay officially launched merchandise. I know, right? We've already been shipping out all of your orders, and I can't wait to see you in your Girl Buy shirts. If you haven't had the chance to check them out, I'll link everything in the description, but check them out, boo. There is only a limited amount of inventory we have, so if you do want one, make sure you jump on it and get it because once they're gone, boo. But anyway, let's just jump right into this week's episode. You guys, Thanksgiving is next week. Houseway. How? Like the holidays are here and we are all getting ready for all that family time and food and fun and just getting ready to get in that holiday spirit. And as we look forward the next several weeks and getting into Christmas and then New Year's, I really want to focus the last few episodes of the podcast for this year on getting you completely ready for what's to come in 2019. I mentioned in a previous episode that I am that girl that once the clock strikes 12 on New Year's, it's new year, new me, new phone, who this, and I always look at New Year's as a fresh start to another year of my journey. And I really want us to be focused on what we truly want for ourselves next year. And once we can identify that, just throwing ourselves completely into making it happen. And by this time next year, I want your screenshots that you send me to be messages that you got everything you wanted for the year and everything you were looking to accomplish, you accomplished, that you were focused, that you got it done. I want my inbox to be full of messages of that, and in the Slay Girl Slay inbox as well. This is our deadline for next year. It starts now. And most people take the holidays as time to relax and just to really let their hair down and cuddle up on the couch and watch movies over the holiday breaks and drink like crazy and party and see relatives that they haven't seen in a while and just enjoy their time away from their busy lives. And this is, in fact, what you should be doing. You should be taking time to relax and enjoy your families. But there is also a time and a place for everything. I think that while everyone else is quiet right now in this season, this is the time to really look into yourself and ask yourself, what do I want for 2019? What goals do I want to smash for 2019? Yes, I have this bigger, broader goal, right? And whatever your goals are, whether that be to be a teacher, to pass the bar, to start the business, to write the book, to hit a sales goal, whatever that may be, what can I do in 2019 as a whole to get me to that larger goal? Now is the time to think about that. And that's what I hope to accomplish with the very last few episodes we have for the rest of this year. And during this season of not being at work every day and spending more time with your families, I also want you to take some time to spend it with yourself and without all that noise and before the hustle and bustle of New Year's. Map out what you want for next year. I laugh because my mom and I were talking and, I'm going home back to Chicago for Christmas just to see my family and to see her. And she mentioned it would be a great time to just relax. And I told her, girl, this is going to be the busiest time of year for me because now my mind is in planning mode for next year. And I'm mapping out how I want the year to look and how I want the year to feel. And I'm getting my game plan together. And although it's chill time, right? It's also kick it into gear time for me because I want to be ready for next year. I want you to be ready for next year as well. And I'm so excited for what you guys are conjuring up for yourselves. As I mentioned, I will be going home for Christmas this year, and I'm super excited to see my family and spending time with everyone. So our last episode of the year will be around that time. I don't know What day specifically, I'll definitely let you guys know ahead of time. But I'll definitely miss you guys for a few weeks, just a few weeks. I know I'm sad, but part of my plan in 2019 is to truly give you all that I have in this podcast and make sure that every single touch point either myself or the Slay Girl Slay team has with you, whether that be through the podcast, through our email list, through social media, through, connecting with you over merchandise, that you feel encouraged, that you feel empowered and motivated. And most of all, you are not afraid to walk within your purpose. And I don't want you guys to walk in 2019. I want you to run. So a major part of accomplishing big goals is knocking off the small ones. And the way to knock off the small goals is to just get it done, boo. Just get it done. And when I talk to you guys, you're like, oh, I want to start this, but, and oh, I want to do this, but, I want to write this, but, and I'm like, girl, no buts. Just get it done. We are removing buts in 2019. We are replacing the word want with the action of I did start this. I did write this. Like I always say, you have everything you need right now in this very moment to get whatever you want done. You want to go back to school and get a master's or a doctorate? Great. Thankfully, the internet is open 24 hours and there is always an enroll button on every school's website you can possibly think of. You want to write a book? Great. Thankfully, we all have access to some sort of writing program like Microsoft Word or the note section in your phone to get down your thoughts. You want to start a business? Thank God Google is free 99, child, and that resources are right there in front of you telling you where to start, how to do it, who to talk to, all day, every day. And all you need is a game plan and the discipline to follow that game plan and get it done. And I know you're like, oh, okay, that sounds cute, Ash, but it's not that easy. And you know what? That's where a lot of us fall off when it comes to accomplishing the things we want, because it's quote unquote not that easy. No, you're absolutely right. It's not that easy. In fact, there will be nothing easy about this entire process. But nothing in this life worth having should be easy. You should never want to be given anything. And when you do accomplish what you want, when November 2019 does roll around, you can look in the mirror and say, I did that. I worked for that. I cried for that. I fought to make that happen. I deserve that. I noticed that we get so caught up in the quote unquote buts because we want it to be perfect. We want it to be on our level of what we think perfection is. And we want it to go the way we dream of it going. And let me tell you, sis, as much as you want it to be that way, it will never happen like that. It will never be 100% perfect. It will never go 100% the way you plan for it to go. So instead of waiting for perfect and continuously creating this fantasy in your mind that whatever you produce, whatever you put out in the world will be perfect, and the only way you will get true success is if every step you take to get there has to be perfect, and letting this paralyze your growth and paralyze your movement, just do it anyway. Just take the step. Just enroll. Just sit down and write. Who cares if it's not grammatically correct? Who cares if it's not in order? Thank God there are apps and resources that will help you. Just apply for the LLC. Just reach out to the person with the nonprofit to set up a coffee date. What we waiting for perfect for? My mom always says, you have to crawl before you walk. And usually when she says that to me, that means I'm trying to meet my own level of perfection, that my expectations, hello, whatever episode that was, are way above the level at which I am performing, and not realizing that the level I'm on is the best that I can do in this moment. And if this is all I can do in this moment, that is okay, as long as I am doing it. You have to crawl before you walk. You have to allow it to be gritty and see the imperfections of whatever it is you're doing or working towards, and being understanding of yourself and saying, you know what, I'm crawling and I'm not walking or running yet, but I will be. And since I am crawling, I know that it will not be perfect, but it will be done. And at least I am moving. If you could make a list of small goals you can accomplish next year that add up to the bigger goal you're trying to tackle, and remove the buts and the wants and just do it and give it your best shot and get it done, and look back at it and say, it may not be the best of the best, but it is my best and I did it. And keep having that same energy towards every single thing you do on that list. I guarantee you, by our deadline next year of November 2019, you will say, wow, Ash, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe how far I came. I can't believe I actually accomplished what I wanted. Because here's the thing with accomplishing goals and not letting perfection stop you. Just because it's not the best of the best the first time doesn't mean the second time around it won't be better. It's like building your resume, right? When you are fresh out of college and you don't have a ton of experience, but you know you have what it takes. You know you have the sauce to work at a company like Google and Netflix, or whatever type of career you want to work in. Your sights are initially set high because, you know, you have ambition, but you're starting out at the bottom. And the more experience you get under your belt, the better your resume starts to look. And you keep building and building and building. And not all that experience was the best. Some of it was really crappy stuff you had to do or deal with in the beginning. And some of that experience you get, you can't really shine through and really show your full potential, but you still had to go through it just to get it. But with every notch of experience you get on your belt, the stronger your resume looks. And eventually you find yourself in a position where you look at all that you've done, even though it wasn't perfect, and you will find yourself on a new level. You will find yourself with a stronger resume on a different level than when you first started. So as we get through these next few weeks, and as you are deciding on what you want for yourself for 2019 and getting a game plan together on how you're going to make that happen, as you're writing out your game plan and making that to-do list, don't let the fear of it having to be perfect keep you from writing down what you really want to accomplish. You may have no freaking idea how it's going to happen because you don't have all the resources in this very moment to get it done, but still write it down, boo. You never know what tools you will end up picking up along the way next year that end up being resources and ultimately the very thing that you need. We are not waiting for New Year's Eve to sit down and decide what our year will look like next year. We are doing the legwork now. We're planning now. We're setting small goals now. New year, new me now. And over the next couple of weeks, we will be really working through getting ourselves together mentally and physically for what's to come in 2019. So when that clock does strike 12, it's go time. All right, you guys, that wraps us up for this week. I would much appreciate it if you guys would leave a comment in the comment section with your thoughts on the Slay Girl Slay podcast, and even more if you would subscribe. Send me an email with any topics or feedback on today's podcast, and you can always find us on Instagram or Facebook at Slay Girl Slay, or come visit us on our website at www.slaygirlslay.com. Until next week, we will chat soon. Peace.